I've heard many scientists question spiritualists' use of quantum physics as basis for their teaching. From a spiritualist's point of view, however, there is an obvious reason for that. Quantum physics is the only branch of science that offers the hope of validating the spiritual worldview. The central difference between the two worldviews is that science, in general, approaches the world as material and objective, while the spiritual viewpoint sees the world as subjective and fundamentally non-material. All branches of science deal with the world as physical in nature with one exception. You guessed it, it is quantum physics. There it has been established that the universe actually has a dual nature. Okay, maybe not exactly the whole universe. So far, scientists have granted these superpowers only to subatomic particles. I call them superpowers because they allow these particles to perform physically impossible feats. They can be in more than one place simultaneously, move left and right at the same time, be intimately linked to each other across the universe, and appear and disappear seemingly at will. There is still one point of contention between spiritualists and quantum physicists, which is, at what physical size these superpowers disappear. According to physicists, they only belong to subatomic particles. Personally, I refuse to believe that the laws governing the bits and pieces of my body don't apply to me as a whole. Of course, I understand why there is hesitation to embrace this viewpoint. No one has ever been caught in two places at the same time. So there is a lack of solid observations to support our quantum nature. But lack of evidence does not equate to evidence of lack, right? Let's try to solve this riddle by looking for clues in what we already know. We already know that when an electron in a wave form encounters a screen with two holes, it would pass through both simultaneously. However, when the same electron travels as a particle, it will go through only one of the holes. As a wave, the electron is not restricted to a single option. It possesses the ability to explore all available options simultaneously. On the other hand, as a particle, it lacks that freedom. Humans, of course, behave like particles because we have mass. When we are faced with options, we are limited to choose only one. Our consciousness would go crazy if we find ourselves walking down and up the street at the same time. We are not built to handle two different and contrasting parallel stimuli. It is established then that the bodies we identify with are similar to electron particles. It is also established that our consciousness cannot handle two parallel experiences. I believe that the decisions we forsake are experienced by another version of us. This is not a wild assumption. It has its basis in the multiple universe theory. Before I tell you about my view, I want to hear what you think. Do you believe that there are other versions of you living in parallel universes? If it is true, how could this knowledge help you? Share your opinion in a comment, and let's explore the idea of us possessing hidden powers. If you're curious about my perspective, why not pick up a copy of my book, Quantum Being? You'll find the link in the description.